This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
The WBC President, Breazeale Solomon, has taken to the Express and voiced his opinions around the Anthony Joshua-Deontay Wilder fight, and of course the mandatory situation between Dominic Breazeale and Dillian Whyte, and of course the pending fight between Wilder and Tyson Fury. So thank you, Andy P, for sending this one on to me. So before we get into Breazeale Solomon's statement, click that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, join the thousands within the legion. Do it. Now, Breazeale Solomon's statement. The WBC has done everything possible to see this great fight happen between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. I will be thrilled to see it happen, which is a must, as it is what the fans of the world want. But it seems that Wilder will fight Tyson Fury next. We are waiting for an official sanction request from the promoter. The mandatory challenger is Dominic Breazeale. Last year he was contracted to fight a final eliminator bout versus Breazeale. When Luis Ortiz could not fight Deontay Wilder, Breazeale got the fight and Breazeale was left with a contract. The replacement for Breazeale was Eric Molina. The condition was that if Breazeale won, he would become mandatory as per the contract he had. Dillian Whyte is the WBC Silver Champion, but is not mandatory. The WBC offered him to fight a final eliminator bout to enforce a secondary mandatory on the division against Luis Ortiz, but Whyte did not wish to fight such. So that is Breazeale Solomon's statement. Very, very easy to break down, almost too easy. Breazeale Solomon, you really leave yourself open. So the whole Breazeale thing against Dominic Breazeale, again, Wilder and his team, or the WBC, whichever it was, paid Breazeale step-aside money so that Wilder can fight Luis Ortiz. Okay, first of all, Breazeale should never have been a damn mandatory, because when he lost his title to Deontay Wilder on points way back when in 2015, he's only had one fight since, and that was against Derek Rossi, where Breazeale got dropped in the first round and arguably lost that fight, and he hadn't had a fight since. But of course, we all know the real reasons why that Breazeale was installed as a mandatory is because Breazeale Solomon and Don King, who is Breazeale's promoter, are bed buddies. That's what they are. These guys are very, very close. So doing favours for pats on the back or brown envelopes, who knows? So Dominic Breazeale, okay, so he gets an opportunity to become mandatory by beating Breazeale. That fight didn't happen because Luis Ortiz tested positive. He didn't put on his usage of medication for high blood pressure. WBC put a hold to that fight. Breazeale then cancelled his fight with Dominic Breazeale and went to fight Deontay Wilder. So that meant that Dominic Breazeale had no opponent. But rather than them just let him fight the next highest contender, which was not Eric Molina, they let him fight Eric Molina, still with that contract. You beat Eric Molina, you become the mandatory. Absolutely outrageous, because when Breazeale pulled out of that, Dominic Breazeale should no longer have had that damn contract. Very, very simple. Or you fight Dillian Whyte. When Dillian Whyte offered you the opportunity to fight him next, but you didn't do it, did you? No, because you wanted Eric Molina. So, WBC, that's one hell of a calamity. And as far as Dillian Whyte versus Luis Ortiz goes with the secondary mandatory, you heard it there in his statement, the secondary mandatory. That meant that if Dillian Whyte was to beat Luis Ortiz, he would not get a opportunity against Deontay Wilder for 18 months to 2 years. Okay? Bearing in mind that WBC allowed Wilder to go the best part of 3 years without facing a mandatory. No other champion gets those privileges, but he did. So, who knows? Dillian Whyte may have had to wait 3, 4, 5 years for his opportunity, because it's very clear Wilder doesn't want Dillian Whyte. How obvious is that? So that's that whole situation. Dillian Whyte was perfectly right to go fight Joseph Parker instead. Why he became the number one WBO. He kept his position as WBC number one and silver champion. He earned a whole crap load of money and a hell of a lot of respect for beating a former world champion with a quality resume. Luis Ortiz does not have that. Who is he beating? Bryant Jennings, who come off a loss to Vladimir Klitschko in the previous fight. His only other big win is Tony Thompson, ancient old Tony Thompson. Maybe Malik Scott, the same guy who Derek Chisora knocked out. The same guy when Deontay Wilder hit him on the gloves, he went down like he'd been shot. Me, you and most other people could have took that shot on the gloves. But not Malik Scott. So that's what Luis Ortiz done, and right before he fought Wilder, he fought Daniel Martz, who, exactly, Dave Allen, and before then, Malik Scott. Behave yourself, what is it that Luis Ortiz had done exactly? Not only that, he then goes and fights Deontay Wilder, loses to Deontay Wilder, okay, contentious, maybe the fight should have been stopped at the end of the 7th, Wilder was given all that extra time, but anyway, the records show Luis Ortiz lost. So therefore, Whyte's been given another opportunity, straight away, outrageous. So let's move on from that one. Now, as far as the Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder thing goes, where the WBC did everything that they possibly could, what exactly did you do? I'm curious, what did you do other than go, yeah, okay, Wilder, if you want to go fight Joshua, no problem. That's about the extent of what you've done. Did you keep in contact with the WBA over all this? Did you say, yes, we believe that Wilder is going to be fighting Anthony Joshua next. Let's postpone it a bit longer. I'm fully confident Wilder has said to us that, he wants to defend his WBC title against your WBA world champion for undisputed. Let them get on with it. Sort it out. No, you didn't, did you? You didn't do anything. You did absolutely nothing. That's what the WBC do. Nothing. So don't try and take credit for something as if you guys are hard working. You're not hard working, you're charlatans. Ever since Wilder's had that belt, you've protected him. You've let him defend that WBC belt, that green belt, that legendary belt that Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson and so many others had. And he's defending it against Arthur Spilker, Johan Duapa, Chris Areola, Gerald Washington. He even tried to damn well defend it against Andre Wawrzyk of all people. So don't act like you guys are something special, because all you guys want to do is try and jump in the middle like the kid in class, oh please sir, pick me, whenever there's like a big super fight on. Why did Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor warrant you guys to make a special belt for them? Even though Canelo told you guys, WBC, to bugger off out of it, I don't want your trashy belt, you guys made a special belt, didn't you, for their fight. For Triple G and Canelo. And guess what? You're probably going to make another one for this one, aren't you, for the rematch? So what you guys do, you even did it for Canelo versus Chavez Jr. Canelo does not want you. Your reputation as a sanctioning body is in smoke. And that's the truth of it. It's absolute garbage. It's probably the least favourable belt out there right now because of you lot. You lot can change it, and I hope you do. But right now, you guys have no credibility. Starting with Deontay Wilder. You guys should have stripped him long ago. But you didn't. You allowed him to do whatever. So let's get on to the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder fight. Again, WBC. Why are you allowing this fight to happen? Honestly, tell me. Why are you allowing this fight to happen? Tyson Fury. He just lost 135 pounds. 135 pounds. That is the same weight as Vasyl Lomachenko, Mikey Garcia, and all other 135 pound fighters. That's how much weight he lost. Think about it. Put Vasyl Lomachenko on your shoulders and carry him around for 2.5 years. See how far that gets you. And Tyson Fury's still not in shape. He hasn't had a decent fight or a step-up fight or any kind of proper fight since 2015 against Vladimir Klitschko. So why is it that Tyson Fury is allowed a shot right now? What happens if... Okay, let's carry on for a little bit more about Tyson Fury. The weight, as I've said, the mental health, like I said, he went through all the added pressure as well from UKAD and the British Boxing Board of Control, which I was at the forefront kicking their backside over it all. Because they treat Tyson Fury real bad by dragging it on for so damn long. Yeah, all the Tyson Fury fanboys out there who... I know they want to jump on me like because I support Anthony Joshua, even though I've said time and time again I support Joshua and Tyson Fury exactly the same. And I don't want Anthony Joshua fighting Tyson Fury yet. Way too early. But yeah, you know what? I'm not allowed to express my concerns for Tyson Fury taking on Deontay Wilder. As I said, mental health, weight, he's putting cocaine up his nose. He had all the pressure from UKAD and the British Boxing Board of Control. He was boozing heavily. And of course, he was nearly going through some kind of divorce. He was suicidal. He's putting all kinds of junk food in his body. But yeah, you guys are saying, yeah, you know what? It's perfectly fine. Let's allow Deontay Wilder to defend his WBC belt, even though we've called the mandatory for him to fight Dominic Breazeale, right or wrong. But that's okay. Dominic Breazeale can wait while he fights Tyson Fury, who's only just fought Tyson Fury. So if Tyson Fury gets pummeled to death in that ring, we all know that Deontay Wilder wants this body on his resume. Tyson Fury could well be it. WBC, you've got a lot to answer for because you sanctioned this fight. You allowed this fight. I've been saying for months now, I don't want to see Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte, or nobody right now. Because he ain't ready. He's going to get mullered. He's going to get mutilated. And especially against a big puncher like Dillian Whyte or Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder, who can end anybody's night. Well, if Tyson Fury dies in that ring, WBC, look at yourself in the mirror, because you allowed this fight to happen. You should be at the forefront protecting the fighters. Yeah, but we might get a little bit more money. That's all you're thinking about, you greedy turds. Really? So, WBC, you want this fight. But yet, he's saying that even though the fight is 99% done, as of, the last week, according to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, it's 99% complete. Yet they did 99% within 2 days, but this 1%, 1 week later, is still not signed. The WBC have still not had an official request from Deontay Wilder's promoter. Weird that, isn't it? 1% a week later, and they still haven't had a request. Why is that? Is there like a little bit of a hitch? Is that what it is? What's going on? So, either way, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, this 1% that you're saying is only 1% left to complete 1 week later is still not done. You haven't even put in a term exemption request to the WBC. And yes, Wilder needs to do that to get authorization. Of course they'll give it. They know they'll give it because Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder especially can do anything in the world that he wants. He can defend that belt against anybody in the world he chooses. Really. He can go fight Kevin Johnson and defend that belt, and the WBC will go, okay, Al Heyman, no problem, Al Heyman. We're your friend, Al Heyman. Why? Because Al Heyman owns the WBC. We all know that. But anyway, that's the WBC President, Mauricio Sulaimán's statement right in between him eating some cakes and pies. That's exactly what he said, that he hasn't had a request from Deontay Wilder's promoter for this fight. But you know what? He knows this is next. And of course he did everything he could to make the Joshua Wilder fight. Of course he did. Of course he did. And his lame excuse as to why Dominic Breazeale is the official WBC manager. No wonder you guys are in an absolute shambles. No wonder that the fans have no interest in the WBC. Because you don't care, you live up your own asses. That's the truth of it. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what the fans want. How would you know what the fans want? If you knew what the fans want, as in Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, why did you not know what the fans wanted when it came to Deontay Wilder for the past 3 years as champion, defending against potato sacks? You didn't do nothing about it then, did you? Oh well, I wonder why. Because Al Heyman is good friends with Floyd Mayweather, and you really don't want to upset Floyd Mayweather, do you? Anyway, drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, subscribe, catch you all on the next video.